kind of calm weather here today with some interesting looking clouds. They say it's supposed to rain tonight. I guess we'll see. And with that in mind, what did I read today? Lots about drone hardware in general. How about this first one where DJI announced a new drone coming in January the 14th. I think we can all assume this is that DJI Flip that's been leaked everywhere. There wasn't too much that was new anyways from what I read. It just seems like in general, this is a drone with a folding propeller design and it has integrated guards. It's sub 250 and the camera apparently is about 48 megapixels that's capable of shooting 4K at about 100 FPS. It has OcuSync 4.0 and apparently it flies for about 31 minutes. And again, just from what I've seen anyways, this seems to be like an upgraded Neo drone that just came out recently. So I suppose if you want the better camera quality, then you would go for this one for that type of drone anyways. And with smaller drones, how about bigger ones meant more for military purposes? They all just look like regular helicopters for a lot of these, huh? It says Leonardo unveils design of Proteus uncrewed rotorcraft technology demonstrator. Leonardo, the Royal Navy and UK Ministry of Defence's Defense Equipment and Support Future Capability Innovation Team have unveiled the design of the Proteus technology demonstrator aircraft. The circa 3-ton crewed rotorcraft will be used to demonstrate advances in autonomy and payload, modularity and interchangeability, whilst developing cutting-edge new rotorcraft technologies including design and manufacturing techniques. Its development supports the Royal Navy's Maritime Aviation Transformation Strategy, which covers the evolution of the maritime aviation out to 2040. This includes building masts at sea and supporting future anti-submarine warfare missions. And still with military types of drones, how about this one? It says IRGC Ground Force unveils Rezvan suicide drone with 20-kilometer range. The loitering drone named Rezvan was introduced and operationalized on Thursday, the final day of Great Prophet 19 military drills by the IRGC Ground Force in Western Iran. The unmanned aerial vehicle has a range of 20 kilometers and a 20-minute flight endurance. Owing to their versatility and rapid deployment, the loitering UAVs provide the IRGC Ground Force's rapid response units with the new capabilities to combat terrorist groups, not least in complex mountainous geography. Well, non-stop development of these types of drones as there's no end in sight in terms of conflicts around the world, huh? And I was just reading more news about that huge fire in Los Angeles, and one of these responses was going viral where apparently the mayor was being asked questions because they cut funding, apparently, I guess, for all the firefighters and so forth. And it seemed like at first in this interview, the person refused to answer, I guess, any questions. So it's kind of interesting in that sense. Can you imagine being responsible for that much destruction just because you cut, I guess, funding and all that?
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
And to make it crazier, apparently this person, this mayor, did some kind of press conference telling people where to go in order to find information if they were unfortunately affected with this fire. And you can hear in the speech, it was completely scripted. And whoever wrote her speech, I guess, didn't write down the actual website that they wanted people to go to. She actually said, like, visit like the URL, for example. Like, oh my goodness, I mean, you have to hear it to believe it.
Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. Los Angeles, together is how we will get through this.
So to me, that's crazy. Like, obviously during this time, people are blaming officials for what has happened, understandably so. And it makes you wonder, like, here, wouldn't you say that out loud to yourself? Hey, where is the URL? Or are these officials that, I guess, non-tech savvy to the point where they don't even know what a URL is, like what the meaning is in general? They thought that is actually some kind of building or something like that. Like, that's crazy, isn't it? And of course, there's people upset about that and mocking it, saying, yep, let me just go visit this quote URL while my house is on fire, with all these memes of people with laptops and so forth being used in a house that's on fire. That makes you wonder here, unfortunately, do people blame, for example, the officials because of the situation, or do they just see this as some freak accident per se? There's just too many little things in this story I read anyways that just screams, for example, unpreparedness, not focus on actually the job at hand, I guess you could say. Apparently there was more places that's not even related to that area that's been catching on fire too, so it makes you wonder again, what the heck is going on? Alright, see you guys later.